And about 3 years ago, I remember I wanted my name. And what I did is I put it on what they call back order. Are you familiar with back ordering your name? And basically what it is you can go and we'll go into GoDaddy so you can see that program site I use where I register my names, is that you can say, I want to back order this site. And you pay 18 bucks, and it constantly monitors that thing for when it expires. When it expires, it grabs it for you. You know? And poor Victor Gonzalez, the other guy, you know, he had a webmaster, and he let it expire. And he wasn't aware that it expired. About till a week later, he sees my mug up there, right? Like, hey, it's mine, you know. Oh, he emails me back. He emails me, I didn't mean for my domain to, you know, expire. And again, feel, found, right? I hear what you're saying. Because I, too, had been in that position where I didn't have my name. I found patience to be a virtue. So so I registered it for 10 years, you know. It's mine. So I grabbed the Victor Gonzalez with a Z and then Victor Gonzalez with an S. I grabbed them both. I was like, no, I'm taking this one. Now, are you asking, you're wondering, don't you feel guilty, Victor? Oh, hell no. I waited 3 years for that name. It's mine. So anyway, it's a valuable asset, especially when you start branding yourself on your name. Yes?
What do you do with your, I just get a search on my name and somebody else has it?
Yeah. When you go to GoDaddy, we'll go in there and just look for the back order feature. Because there's a couple I have on back order that I really want. I doubt if I'll ever get them, but you know, you put the 18 bucks in, and what's cool about it, if you kind of give up on the fact, like let's say somebody renews it for 20 years, you can now reassign that $18 to another domain that's probably held by somebody else. You don't lose your money, okay? You don't lose your money until it's used. But they do grab it for you. It's pretty great. It's pretty good. There's the back ordering feature. By the way, so when we talk about internet components, for those of you who are familiar with the internet, I realize that this part is a little tedious, but let me go through it because there's a lot of people in here who probably don't know as much, okay? So just bear with us because then I'll accelerate. Okay, the URL is just a domain name, right? You need hosting, okay? When somebody talks about hosting, it's about parking your website on the internet. Posting is the act of putting it up there, okay? Posting it up on the internet. And then editor programs. I use Front Page to do my software editing, to do my web design. I don't recommend it if you're a little afraid of technology, just a little. What I did was I went on GoDaddy, and it has this program called Website Complete. And here's the beauty. I mean, for $14, by the way, you can register a domain name for $8.95 at GoDaddy. I found one that's cheaper. I think it's the number 1, and and1.com. No, it was cheaper than that. It was like $2.99 or something. Somebody punch it up, 1and1.com. The thing is, I have all my stuff on GoDaddy. I don't feel like switching everything over, but I was like, whoa. Yeah, it's a great site. It really is. But for yes.
If I may just interject here.
Absolutely.
Network Solutions.
Network Solutions.
Will transfer it at the same price.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
They're all very competitive.
They're all very competitive. But do you remember register.com about 3 or 4 years ago? Used to charge you 35 bucks. Those bastards. Yeah, you know. And, you know, they tried to actually sue GoDaddy and lost a lawsuit because they were losing a lot of business to them. So it's interesting. So you can get the website now. It's about $8, $9 for a whole year. I mean, you got to think of the investment here. When sometimes people say, well, should I build a website? I mean, let's look at the cost. You can get hosting for $5 a month. I'm just amazed at this conversation I have with people sometimes. I don't know if I should build a website. I'm like, okay, look, I'm giving you the cheapest alternative. You can buy the software at GoDaddy. It's called websitecomplete.com. And I think it has over 400, 500 templates. And you can pick by project. And then when I say it's click, drag, put your picture here, put your picture there, choose your color, choose your style, it's all in there. Yes, ma'am.
One thing about the template.
Yes.
You don't have control over that if you don't go HTML.
You do not. But let me correct that. No, you don't get lost in it. You got basic templates, but let's say you're just starting out. You don't have a lot of money. Let's be specific as far as who should use that program. You're just starting out. You don't have a lot of money. You don't have your messages fine. You just want to start and just get something out there. That's who should use that program because they're not going to make a lot of modifications. They're not going to know HTML, which is the code program that goes behind the web page. It's not going to know any of that. But the great thing about the Website Complete, it actually has a search engine feature where you can actually plug in your keywords and it posts them right in there, into the code. So I don't know if you've seen Website Complete, but it's a little more advanced than the others. You can actually put in search engine information into these sites. By the way, it's all tab written. So you click on the tab. Now, as you're moving up and you want to charge that $2,500, it might not be the way to go, okay? You might want to talk to the digital diva on this or something else. You don't want to do this, okay? Because they'll look nice, they'll look plain. But again, it's a great start. But once you want to get into some more, just more enticing type of, design and get great copywriting, I mean, this is what you're going to need to work on. And you're going to have to find somebody to do it. You got website back there, copywriting over here. You need it, okay? So when you look at the total cost the first year, it's $9 more or less, for the domain name, $60, which is 5 times 12 a year, $14.95 for a program you keep. And by the way, you can have them mail you the CD as well, so you can have that. And the total cost the first year is $83. The second year, because you own the program already, it's at $68.95, which is about $5.75 a month. Now, see, when I have conversation with people and they tell me, I don't know if I can really afford that, I'm like, I can't make it any cheaper than this. They have made it so cheap that you can't get away from it. Now, I just noted down here, I use Front Page. I enjoy Front Page. It allows me the flexibility I want. It's not that difficult to use, but again, if you don't want to invest time learning it, find you somebody who can do the programs for you. Alternatives for building a site. Write these down, highlight them, whatever you got. You go to elance.com. You say, hey, I want a 5-page website. This is my content. Bid on it. You'll be amazed. You will be blown away by the amount of website bids you'll get. Some $100, $150, $200.
That's what I pay, and it's a kick-ass site.
Everybody bids.
Unbelievable. From India.
They're from everywhere. Everybody from all over the world bids on doing your website. And remember, $200 here is not a lot of money. Over there, it's more than a monthly salary. Yes, sir.
Freelance.com as well.
And there's another freelance. There's a bunch of, and the other one is freelance.com. If you want somebody, you can also use Rent-A-Coder. Rent-A-Coder actually can write software programs for you. The guy, John, for duct tape marketing, did something very clever. He had somebody write a press release program. And all it does is a simple program that says, okay, enter your header here, your title, right? What's your content description? And da-da-da, your byline. And you just poke it in, and it just automatically generates this press release. He gives it away for free. What's the cost? Your email. It's a great giveaway. It's got to cost them less than $100 to get. Again, it's great resources to use. Again, you can get web hosting, web design, hosting, editing, copywriting, brochure layout, logo design. Everything is on that site for you to use. All right, here we go. All right, so we got this down. Now, question was asked about logos. I got to tell you this story because this just happened about the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I wanted a logo. And so my friend introduced me to this website, mylogodesigns.com, right? This is what's cool about the site. It automatically puts in $20, and you can pay whatever you want. You can put 0 on top of the $20, but you got to pay $20 minimum. And I said, well, if I put 0, and my friends told me about this, I'm like, nah, there's got to be something wrong here, right? So I said, I'll put $100, so my total is 120, because maybe they'll give me a decent logo, right? And so they sent me the first batch of logos, right? This is what they sent, and I don't know if you can see it, but look at the handouts. I was putting my new site together called the Sales Asylum, which is what I'm going to register my company on there, right? You got to be committed to get in, right? That whole bit, right? Yeah. There you go. So they gave me all these four, and I go, that looks too corporate-y. Yeah, that's cheesy. I sent them back, rejected. Try again. I said, maybe the last one, but you're missing, right? So they came back, they gave me these. Now, these look pretty nice, right? And, yeah, they look better. And the reason I don't think they can steal them in this case is because they're using your name. So, they may be able to, everybody's seen this. Jeez, it's everywhere. I said, I don't want to see that guy with the bald head again. Do you know what I mean? Because I see that logo in all its manifestations, and it just does nothing for me. So I sent it back going, I said this one right here, I said, I don't know what the hell that is. And I actually wrote that. I don't know what the hell that is. I said, these are not even close. I said, and I think I told her, come back again. So then she came back with this one. I'm frustrated at this point. And I'm thinking, by the way, the reply back to me is, what do you think of these? Please let us know. Every time. I'm like a nasty bastard, right? Damn it, these things are off. They're not even right. Get the color right. I said, focus on the sales asylum, right? She writes back, what do you think of these? Let us know. I was like, I'm being killed by kindness here, right? She comes back with this. I said, I have no idea what the hell these are. And I said, the first one, I said, he looks like a mutant, a genetic deformation. I said, there's nothing insane about that guy. This one, this middle one, with the mustache, I go, what the hell is that? This one had an arrow. I don't know what it has to do with the sales sign. Anyway, she came back with this right here, and I said, okay, look, stick with the red and black. Let's at least narrow down the colors. Okay? Then the last one she came back, and I chose that one, the sales asylum. It shows a gate getting into the asylum. Good enough to start. For $120, you can even pay less if you want. And again, I'm only sharing this with people who don't have a lot of money to spend and are unsure of their brand. But I'm telling you, if you want to be a $2,500 speaker, you better speak to somebody like Jay Stone, right? Because that's what you're going to need. But again, I'm trying to give you this and a little bit of that. Get it? Good. So, but you should try it out. You may get your logo on the first shot, But I think she was happy when I said this one. She's like, thank God, Okay, here's something I noticed about search engines that nobody else is going to talk to you about. Remember I said it's cool to have the keywords in your domain name, right? Because the search engines have figured out something that's just fact. And in case you're wondering how I know this stuff, Google had to register their patent for their search engine about 7 to 8 months ago. That means they had to divulge basically what their algorithm structure was so nobody else would copy it. Now, I know most of you probably have not read that. It's about, I think, 80, 90 pages. So I go through it. I said, what are they looking for? Because they're trying to protect their algorithm, their program, without giving away how they do it, right? And so one of the things I noticed is that if you have your key name in your domain, and then you have it in your email address, it ranks you high. Because why would you use a bogus email address? Think about it, right? It has to be a real email address because it has to go somewhere, right? By the way, don't use free email. Don't ask for $2,500 and then go, Hotmail, Yahoo.com, and then, by the way, this right here, or AOL, and then this, best speaker at, clever. Then you got 1 liter at AOL.com, clever. All right? So, but registering your yes, ma'am.
AOL is not free. It is.
Yeah, but it's not good. It's not good for business.
But wait a minute. It's not free.
It's not free.
No.
It's not. By the way, can we replace that with MSN? Is that free? Okay, something else. Yes, back there. Question.
To respond to her about AOL, my question would be, why would you want to advertise with them?
Right. There you go. By the way, the question back there for you is why would you want, this is advertisement for you. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
So you're advertising AOL,
Okay.
not you.
I understand that, but it's still not free.
It's not free. It is documented on tape. It's not free. Got? All right. Registering a domain name and hosting. By the way, it should include your email address. Again, look at what I did here. I registered tophispanicspeaker.com. Then I registered. Now my email would read info@tophispanicspeaker.com. So that means it found it in my domain name, and it also found it in my email address. Brownie points, move up, okay? And I'm telling you, I tried this out, I tested it, that thing works. But again, this is not to say go back and just dismantle your website because you just want to get the email points, okay? Don't do it. Question?
How many different emails are you checking in your head?
One.
Because they all come in.
Yeah, because what I did is, I forward them all to info@victorgonzalez.com.
When you reply, it comes from victorgonzalez.com.
Right. But only if I want a brand. For example, it's a good question. She asked, where are all my websites pointing to, right? And again, as far as the email addresses, I bring all my email addresses back to victorgonzalez.com. So I just check the victorgonzalez.com email. What's cool about that is that when the email comes in, it comes from that address. So it'll say info@tophispanicspeaker.com. I can see it. Now, if I see Top Hispanic Speaker, I can reply with Victor Gonzalez, because that's who I want to brand. But let's say I have a website called High Tech Selling, right? It's hitechselling.com, okay? If somebody comes in through hightechselling.com, I would log into my High Tech Selling and reply there. That's one of the rare occasions I would do it. The thing is, once I begin aligning everything in terms of selling, and that's why I need to bring everything under either selling, one silo, Hispanic, another silo. Okay? Yes?
Just to help with that, if you have Outlook, it allows you to have multiple accounts. You can apply for many of them.
You can. The answer was you can reply from, who uses Outlook here? Everybody uses Outlook. Well, you can set up multiple accounts and just reply based on that. Good point. I forgot about that. Yep.
I do transfer through my website. I've changed internet service providers a dozen times.
Right.
But it's totally transparent because my email address never changes.
That's right. You can move your server everywhere. As long as your email doesn't change, it's fine. And then what I use free email for my junk stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I want to get free stuff, Victor's inbox at yahoo.com. You know, free email. All right, now we got product service. I'm only having fun with you. Establishing a web presence. You just made me promote AOL on camera. You know that? Again, right now. Okay, e-commerce. Let's talk about e-commerce for a little bit. Okay, now, we got product and service. We know how to build a website now. Am I right? We got a website now. Now I got to make money. Amen to that, right? Now we got to make money. All right, let's see how we can do this. You know how this whole merchant account thing works? Who's familiar with merchant accounts? Okay? It's basically, I think I put steps on the next one. Oh, let me explain it. When somebody buys something from you, several things have to happen. There's the server, wants to buy something off your website. Well, we have to know if it's a valid user, right? So we have to check their credit card company, right? That comes back, and then it has to be smart enough to tell you, hey, deposit the money in my account, and it also has to be smart enough to send me a notification that I just made a little bit of money, right? A merchant account is basically this gateway that moves you. The gateway it's a general term, but under that, basically you have to have a bank account. And I think I put the steps is that you got to register your company, right, with the state, register your company with the state, then you go to the bank, you can open an account under that name, then you contact the merchant account to say, hey, this is where I want you to route the money once it's bought, and then you just set up your shopping cart, okay? Again, Digital Diva's back there. You can talk to her. I'm sure she knows how to use shopping carts. Am I right? Yes, ma'am. All right. And again, it'll give you notification. This is what I usually see. You know, if somebody buys something, I just check my receipts. So basically, I log into my account, and I see who's bought, what they bought, and where. Yes?
Just a quick question. One other thing that you wanted to do is also send a message to the purchaser.
That's correct. That's right. The question is, would I also want it to send a message to the purchaser and just basically acknowledge that the purchase has been made, their credit card will be charged, and yes, so you should have some type of autoresponder capability within that shopping cart. Good point. Okay? So register your company name. These are the steps. Register your company name. Use the registration to open an account. Again, this is what you're going to need for the content provider for the merchant account. He's going to want to know all these things, your business name, business number, your bank account, and everything else surrounding your business. A merchant account typically costs about $200 to $400 to set up, okay? And they usually take a small percentage off of every sale you make. And they vary from, I don't know, 1 to 3%, depending. So this is one way of doing it. I found a cheaper way. No, kind of, but not exactly. This is, but let me, by the way, what you're starting to see in the market now are intelligent shopping carts. Do you know what I mean? They have everything. Before you'd get the shopping cart, you'd have to buy an autoresponder program, you'd have to buy a newsletter program, you'd have to buy an ebook program to automatically download. You had to buy program after program after program and try to put them all together. The shopping cart I use, if you haven't heard, is called oneshoppingcart.com. That's the one that has everything. I think every major speaker / person in internet marketing is using that shopping cart. Now, what a lot of people do is they private brand the shopping cart. They'll give it a different name. Okay? Fred Gleek has what? Webmarketingmagic.com is really oneshoppingcart.com. What he does is very clever. What he does is he sets up an affiliate program, which I'll get into later. But if you register through his site, he gets about, I don't know, let's say 20, 30%. No. If he's private labeling it, he gets 50% of the commission, I believe. That to be the point. So what he does, he promotes that, hey, use my cart, use my cart, use my cart. So everybody uses his cart. He's getting 50%. Okay, now, by the way, he's not taking money out of your pocket because no matter where you sign up, it's still that same price. Okay, so he's just collecting a percentage, and that's what a lot of people are doing. Last I checked, to buy that private labeling and for you to do it was $10,000. I was like, damn. I'm not doing that. Anyway, create multiple products, both digital and physical. Create recurring orders so you can track your customer reports. By the way, you can also design pop-ups within that shopping cart. I got to warn you, this shopping cart is not for the technophobics. If you don't have patience, you don't have the time, you want to hand this over to a web designer or somebody who knows how to use this stuff. Okay, it's got ad trackers. Ad trackers are great because sometimes you want to put two different ads on your website and you want to see which one gets the most click-throughs. And it gives you all these tracking reports to which one is actually clicking through. And this is good for you to know from a marketing standpoint. Database client emails. If you buy something, you register for my newsletter, it actually puts them in databases. You can segment your databases any way you want and really be able to blast out to each database in particular, okay? It has what they call opt-in and double opt-in. Opt-in is when you just opt in, you give them your mail, and you send it up. Double opt-in is you register, then they send something to your email, and you have to confirm that that's what you did in case somebody else signed you up, okay? This avoids any accusations of spam, okay? Segment client by products. Send newsletter by segmented list. You can send multiple newsletters to your different databases. This I thought was key. It automatically downloads your PDF. So let's say you wrote a book. It automatically will download it right there and then. What I do in some cases, I try to download it and also send you an email with the link, just in case. Because sometimes when you send a download it, a pop-up blocker will block it and won't get through. So I still send the email. But that's powerful because no intervention. If you set it up right and it works, somebody buys your digital product. It's not like you got to go home and ship it to them or anything. It's there for them. Okay? It's got page redirection, and again, be careful how you use that. Autoresponders are automatically included. Affiliate programs. An affiliate program is basically when Lou sells something on his website for me, and I give him a percentage. This software will track a specific code I give to him, so at the end of the month, I know what to pay Lou. And Lou also knows what's owed to him because he also gets a confirmation of what orders actually came through his site, okay? And I'll get into that in a little more detail a little later. You can earn reseller commission. Again, you can actually you can resell that by putting a link on your site, but I think you only get like 20, 30%. So you can still recommend the shopping cart, okay? And again, the tool of choice, I pay $69 a month for my service. And it includes, what's that? The what? I think it's 79 then. I swear I was paying 69, but call it 79. So all this in one shopping cart. Again, you may think it's expensive, but it really isn't. So if I just told you can build a website for $6 a month, right? Host it with software and everything. Now you got this shopping cart for $79 a month. I mean, you're still doing well. You're still in the $90 range. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have you ever used PayPal?
Yes, I have.
And what would be?
This one, by the way, this one accepts all major credit cards. Okay? And I believe in PayPal, you have to have a PayPal account, correct? Right. That's the difference. And a lot of people don't want to set up a PayPal account. Okay. What's that? Okay. I stand corrected. You don't need a PayPal account. I don't use PayPal anymore.
Okay, so because you found this to be good.
Actually, right.
But
Well,
does anybody
well, wait a minute.
what PayPal wouldn't do that these programs, this
I think if you go into PayPal and you go back and look at all these features it has, you will not find all these features. It doesn't have. So, by the way, I don't want to get into a discussion right now about going into details and comparing shopping carts. I'm almost positive that PayPal doesn't do any of these. If I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected, but I'm almost sure. Another option that's similar to PayPal is if you're still saying to yourself, Victor, I'm already spending $6 a month on the website, and I really can't afford it anymore. which I've heard people say, I got a solution, I guess. Try 2checkout.com. Okay? It's called 2checkout.com. It's only $49, one-time fee. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles. What it is that as soon as you register a product, it gives you a link, and you cut and paste that link on your website. I think it charges you 1 to 2 percentage points more than oneshoppingcart.com. So you're paying a little more. But you don't have to have a merchant account. You just need a bank account. So remember when I said you had to spend $200 to $400 on a merchant account? You can bypass this. This is quick. You can have this up in less than 24 hours. And you can be able to take orders. So now you're up to, what is it, $6, and you paid $49 one time. There is no monthly recurring fee. Okay? So now we're back to $6 a month and a one-time charge of $49. Yeah. All right? But again, all this stuff, I haven't used it because it's very limited in what it can do. And you still have to buy. If you were to break apart that and realize how much each of these would cost you in terms of a software package. For example, emails, send newsletters. A lot of us use, what is it, constant contact, vertical response. And what do you pay a month?
I pay $55 a month.
Just for that one program. Just for that one program. Correct me if I'm wrong, but on constant contact, do you have access to the emails or just the number of emails that you have?
What do you mean when you say access to the email?
Can I see the actual emails? Because you can see them?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. But anyway, just that program is already, I mean, if this is $79, then it's already included in there. You know what I mean? When you add up all these, it's a hell of a deal. You're not going to find a better deal on the internet. Yes?
Yeah, just so people know that you can also, your first month on there is free, so you can play around with it. And
Yep.
they have options below 69 that
Right.
like this to learn how to use it.
Right. If you want some of these key features, it's got to be around the $79 range. Absolutely. Great. So, all right. So now, we got product, we got service, we established a presence. Now we know how to set up our account to sell stuff, right? Should we talk promotion? All right. Let's talk promotion. All right. This is traffic. Okay? Now, this is my traffic, I believe, from the Logic of Success and this month, okay? So you can see I copied it over on the 23rd, okay? Now, you don't have to really see his data, but the number of visits here, okay, the number of pages that have been viewed here, the number of hits, and the bandwidth. Again, think of bandwidth as minutes. Every time somebody downloads, that's the other problem. When somebody downloads your video, they're chewing up bandwidth, which is why to make sure you have small files, okay? Now, look at the first day. Number of visits, 151. Pages, 755. But look at the number of hits. 3,128. How do you reconcile? How do you reconcile that you have 151 visits, but 3,128 hits? This is what the search engine does, and this is why you don't want to track hits. Let's say you have a page, and I'm just using this as an example. You have 100 pictures on that page of your latest vacation. When I visit your site, one visit, when I visit your site one time, it will log 101 hits. My actual visit, and it will count each object on that page as a hit. So when somebody says, well, I get 50,000 hits, now you know, ain't the real story, is it? Because there's a difference between visits also and unique visitors. Okay? So here's a test for you. 3 people come to your house to eat on Monday. How many visits did you have? 3. Well, 3 visits. Each person counts as a visit. How many unique visitors did you have? 3. Okay. Now, Friday comes, and they bring 2 more friends. On that day, how many visits did you have?
5.
How many unique visitors did you have? 2. Right? You see the difference? It's unique visitors you're looking for, because I can go back and revisit my own site 100 times, and they'll say 100 visits. You're like, damn, I got traffic. No, you don't. You got one guy who's psychotic. You know, that's all you got. You got one guy who's, hey, I like to click on the site. You know, and because a lot of us don't know that, we're like, wow, you got a lot of visits. And we're like, oh, happy. See, down here is 2,817 visits. Right here, you can't read it, but it says, as of the 23rd, I think this was in the afternoon, I get 122, 123 unique visitors to my site every day. 123 unique visitors. It was about 185 around Christmas time. But again, it fluctuates. It's very seasonal, and you can actually track it. Now, how many would love to have 123 unique visitors a day? Not easy to get, right? That's what we're shooting for. Okay, now, look at the total. And again, if you look at here, you're going to see 30,000 visits, right? Or hits. And that's what people always talk about. See, I can blow smoke up your backside. Says, man, I get 30,000 hits a month. And you'd be like, yeah, right? But I'm lying to you. You know it now, right? So they always say, again, 30,000. Let me go back here. HIT stands for, write this down, how idiots track success. Got it? So next time somebody says, oh, I get this many hits, just say, well, that's how idiots track success. And just remind them, what you're looking for is unique visitors. By the way, if somebody tells you, a web designer or anybody tells you, I get a lot of visitors, don't go for the visitor line. You're looking for what? Unique visitors. There you go. You're with me. All right. Traffic generation strategies. There's 4 strategies I'm going to go after, okay? 4 strategies we're going to talk about, okay? Search engine, pay-per-clicks, link back, joint ventures, affiliate programs. All right. Read this. 75% of the buying decisions are made on the headline alone. When you went to our website, get speaking gigs. If that didn't catch you, nothing was going to catch your attention, right? They're that important. On average, 5 times as many people read the headline as will read the body. Copyright is important, but you got to grab them. Something's got to grab them. Something's got to focus them in on what it is they're looking for. When we search for something, aren't we searching for something specific? Unless we're just going into the hyperlink world, right? You go from one website to the other, and you don't know. But typically, when you're looking for something specific, you're looking for that right headline, that right look of a website says, yeah, here's where I should buy my product. Pay attention to your headlines. All right. Anatomy of a good site. Browser page, headline page, pictures, meta tags, again, text links, hyperlink, inbound, outbound links, keywords, and I'll go into that. Let me see what the next one is. This site right here, speak at colleges. What do you think my keywords are? College, speaker, right? Well, let's see how many times it appears. Let me go back, and I think it's on this one. No, I didn't put it on this one. If you were to count through, you would see that it appears, up there, there, there. Just count how many times you see college speaking. This is called keyword density. Okay? Now, how often it appears is called keyword density. Now, don't make the mistake of just putting college speaker. I'm a college speaker because college speakers are great college speakers, and you need to be a college speaker. It's got to make sense. This is why copywriting is important. It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. What I want to do now before I go here is I'm going to look at my site. I'm going to show you my site. Then we're going to look at some of your sites now, okay? And I'm going to show you the anatomy of a great site, okay? Because I can tell you about it, but this is kind of boring. Let me show you. If you'll bear with me just a second, let me bring up the site. And then what I'll do is I'll bring up. There you go. Okay. So, the first thing to look at is, all right, here's one of my Hispanic. Let's see what Hispanic speaker does. And then when you look at Hispanic speakers, what you'll see is, again, that's me. Okay? I think, for now, that's me. Okay? The majority of people will not go past 2 pages when it comes to a search. The majority of people will not go past 2 pages. These are pay-per-clicks that I'm going to talk about later. Those are pay-per-clicks over there. Again, I used those 2 keywords, but I needed a 3rd word just for the heck of it. So I said, what about Hispanic motivational speaker? And then, again, Hispanic success. This is an article written in Selling Power magazine about me. So that's me. Here's another guy, Ruben. I know him well. And that's him down there also, the luge man. He's the guy that called me up and says, Victor, how'd you get ranked above me? Because he has all the top links, and I wouldn't tell him, but I'm going to tell you today. But don't tell Ruben, okay? So now let me go to, fine, Ruben, I got the secret sauce. Here it is. All right, let's go. I'm going to go to the logic of success. And so you can see the site. And by the way, from a web design standpoint, you can argue that this isn't the best looking site in the world. And I would say, you're absolutely right. But look what happens. I know that this site generates a lot of traffic. The anatomy of a site. Ready? Let me see if the laser works. There it does. You see this thing right at the above here? That's your header. Do you have a header on your website? Bring up your website and see if you have a header. And that header should be your keywords: leadership, sales, motivational speaker, period. Okay? Does your website have the keywords? If it doesn't have the right headlines, boom, you're just missing out some search engine ranking points right away. Okay? Second thing to notice. See right here, this is text. It's not a picture. What's the words? Motivational speaker, right? Or a keynote with real-world experience, right? This is a graphic. Can the search engine see a graphic? No. What are they looking for? The tags that go behind it, right? Are you guys familiar with the tags? Yeah. So if you want to find out if this one has tags, let me see. And I think this is the one that should have the tags. See, I popped in those tags right there with all the keywords. Because the search engine can't see the picture. It'll only read the tags. So when you go to your website designer, the way to find out if you have tags is to mouse over your picture. If no text comes up, you're being cheated. Now, with Firefox, if some of you use the browser Firefox, you will not see the text, okay? Only through the Internet Explorer will you be able to see it. Just a side note. But again, go back to your site, mouse over, and your keywords should be in there. Again, it's a program. It can only see the code. It can only see the code, okay? Now, again, you see these links right here? Motivational keynote, leadership keynote, sales motivation, right? Keywords. Now, those are not pictures. That's text. What you can't see is that they're hyperlinked. Okay? See that? They're hyperlinked. Because if you hyperlink a text, it immediately alerts the search engine, these are some keywords. And that's what they're looking for. Now, search engines read from left to right. I know what you're saying. How the hell you know that? Right? Because if you look at the code, it's the way it's written. Okay? It's the way it's written. And so what I do here, I got a speaker's bio. Okay? A speaker press kit, speaker bureau for them, meeting planners, testimonials, my hood gallery, if you ever want to see my hood pictures where I was raised. But you can see stuff like that. But it's motivational speaker, that's text. Business motivational speakers featured in da-da-da. Okay? And then here's the information. Do you get the idea? It's got to have text, but these are not buttons. These are not buttons. If you're going to use buttons, make sure the buttons have the meta tags, the keywords in them, or else you lose. But most search engines, what they like is to see this link go into your web page, right? So this is called an inbound link. It goes into your website. If you decide to be a friend of somebody and put their link here, the search engine comes in here, sees an outbound link, right? What does that tell the search engine? Yeah, not only leave, but why? If you're going to redirect me, I might as well just go to the other site, okay? You want links to you. You don't want to give links out. You got to be greedy with your link outs, okay? So you want links coming to you. And I'm going to show you how you generate inbound links without begging, okay? Any questions on this? A lot of text. Avish.
Do you use like Web Position Gold or something, or do you know if that's still relevant?
Web Position Gold is a search engine optimization software, and I believe it's still around. There's several different software packages out there. I used their trial, and I kind of understood what they were doing, so I didn't use it anymore. But Web Position Gold, if you go on MrGoodWeb.com, I think it should be in one of the things I recommend as far as software, at least one of them is. And you can use that software, and basically it'll go through your page and actually just check it out for you. But again, if you go to that MrGoodWeb.com site, there's a couple of links in there that will actually analyze your site for free. And it'll look in there, it'll count your how many keyword density. It'll give you a ratio. Okay, for every 100 words, he has the word college speaker twice. And it could do it by page. It'll go to the second page. So by the way, you don't have the keyword ratio right here. And I think a good keyword ratio to shoot for is for every 100 words or so, have it in 5 times at least, your keywords. Now, keyword relevancy is interesting because it doesn't have to be college speaker, da-da-da-da-da, college speaker. It could be college and speaker down here, something else. In the college market, da-da-da-da, great speakers. You see how the words are not together? The more they're together, the more relevancy it's given. The more they're separated, they're counted as keyword density. It gets confusing, but you get the idea, okay? But you got to watch your keywords, which is why I asked you to define your market right up front. Know what your keywords are, pick your 2 to 3, and work the words. Now, again, don't repeat them, okay? I mean, your copywriting has to make sense, or somebody's going to think you're retarded, you know? You only have 3 words, you know? So make sure you expand that and make it a story, okay? Now, let me see what else I can show you. Who has a website they want to throw up there? What's your website?
FYI, COMMINC.
FYI.
COMMINC.
inc.com. All right. So now, knowing what I've mentioned already, you know what I'm looking for, right? All right. Is she utilizing her top headers? No, missing out on a great opportunity. So if somebody's looking for, what were your 2 or 3 keywords that you chose on the paper?
Jazz, business, website design.
Okay, you just lost me. You just want 2 or 3 keywords that say who you are. You can only sell one thing. You got to sell you. If it's your name, yep, absolutely. So if it's your, let's say it's jazz singer. Can we just say that for now? Then jazz singer something and your name, okay? But by the way, when you list out your words, the further it is to the left, gives it more prominence, okay? So in other words, if my keyword is jazz singer, I don't want to put the best and the greatest jazz singer. I want to put jazz singer, the best and the greatest you could ever hear. You know what I mean? That's what, because it actually calculates it. By the way, don't believe me, test it on the searches. And you'll notice that a lot of pages that rank high have the words right at the beginning, okay? You come in here, we have a picture. We check it. Does it have its tags, right? So I come in here, nada. It doesn't know what that is. By the way, if the search engine comes and it only has, let's say, again, a minimum amount of buffer space, it's going to come in, you're going to choke it on this picture, and you're going to choke it with all these pictures, and it's not going to get ranked high, okay? It'll get ranked, it'll get indexed, but you may not get a high ranking, okay? Now, when you come here, is this an external link? So if you go, and I know what CD Baby is, you got me going to CD Baby. Look at the bottom, you got me going to CD Baby. And you can see it down here that your link is going to cdbaby.com. You just told it that the most important thing from left to right is CD Baby. CD Baby thanks you for their business and their traffic, okay? You get none, okay? It's all about content, okay? You got to drive them into your site. You want inbound links, not outbound links. Get it?
So if
Good.
I took the Anti-Site Gigs blogs links,
Right,
moved them over to the left top,
right here.
left,
Sure.
oh, take the financial destination, put it somewhere else.
Don't you want a header or something? You don't have to get rid of this. Just put the tags in, okay? Put it right here. But, for example, gigs. Why don't you add the keywords to that? Jazz gigs, right? Blog, the jazz blog. You see what I mean? Use that. Now, what's interesting is when you name your subpage, it's what you name your subpage that is also key. For example, I click gigs, right? Now, gigs, I already see that it's going to take me to a page called gigs.htm. Okay? That means that the search engine is going to give you high marks on the word gigs. Because your home page has it here, and it's linked to a page that's subtitled, if you read the top, right here, gigs, right? And you got gigs up here. Beautiful. Beautiful. But look at all this stuff. It's all pictures that it probably can't read. Okay?
I need like wordage on the left.
You need more content. Work with your words. Again, it's not about getting rid of your pictures. It's about organizing them. They did an interesting study when they talk about what people look at, and they put this thing, these visors, on their specimens, right? And they had them search the web. It's a fascinating report. And it did this, it's almost like a thermal chart. And it told you where people look at the most when they look at a page. And it's right here. This is the real estate spot you always want. You know? That's the one you want. Right there was a sweet spot. And you see it's a big red blob they put on there. And it was fascinating. And the company, I don't know if they give the report away for free. They were doing it at the beginning. It's called Inquiro. Like inquire with an O. Inquiro. And they had that study. I have a copy of it. I'll try to find it, but all you need to know is that this was the sweet spot right here. So if you're going to put a promotion, you put it right there. My newer sites are putting more stuff here because that's where I know people are looking at, okay? Okay? Is this helping? Yes. Help me. All right, all right. Okay. So, yes, Sal. You got a site you want me to look at, Sal?
Yes, Sal, S-A-L.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a page that you should put the links, the outbound links?
Here, I would go in, if you're going to do an outbound link, I usually go one page deep